Welcome back to my videos on Pokemon cards, and today I'm doing an update on the work of Yuya Oka, simply because I now have a complete set in Japanese and English of the 32 cards that Yuya Oka has illustrated. And this was the first card they illustrated, this Snorlax, which was a promo in Japan. So that's... Now Yuya Oka seems to always be given the, well, not always, but generally for a lot of their career has been given by the commissioning art editor really drossy Pokemon to illustrate, and yet they've done really good jobs with them. So it's a lot of unpopular, ugly, Z-lists, weird Pokemon. But they've done some really beautiful cards. So I'm going to pull out some of my favorites here. So we have a Zangoose. And this has been out twice in Japanese and then English and English reverse. The Krogunk was a promo in both Japan and English, but was a holo promo in English. The Hawlucha was a pre-release promo holo in whichever Scarlet and Violet. I think it was the first set, wasn't it? It was the base. And then they got it in Shiny Treasure as a holo. The Trevenant has had a Halloween one as well, so I'm going to pull this one out as being one of my favourites. Pawniard was a gym promo in Japan. Durant, and let's see, this is Sandaconda. We've got the Primeape, which was in a Tyranitar deck, I think. It's got the little symbol down there. Then we've got this lovely Bastion. That's definitely being pulled out as a favourite. We'll look at these in a moment. The Regigigas, definitely. Zapdos. I don't like that Pokemon Go logo on it. I think it ruins it, but it is great art, so we'll pull that one out. Gyarados, it's quite good. Vespiquen, that's the Snorlax. The Pinsir was in 151, so it has a reverse and then a Master Ball reverse. That's a very good card, so we'll pull that one out as well. Toxicroak. Now this Cinderace has only been out in English. There's no Japanese print of the Cinderace yet, although I don't really see an opportunity for it to come out in Japan now, so it may remain an English exclusive. The Slacking definitely is coming out as one of my favourites. Crobat, cute little Hippopotas, Kangaskhan, this Marshadow, very good. Yeah, we'll pull that one out. That also had a Halloween print. Then there's this full art of Centiskorch V, which very good. We'll pull that one out. And we've got the Clorf. I do like that, but I'm not quite making my list. Simisear, really good artwork on the Simisear. The Darmanitan, yeah. Bouffalante, definitely one of the better ones. The Sigilyph, I think I'm going to pull it out because I think it is actually really good art, despite the fact I hate this Pokemon. I think it's a horrible design. The Appleton, not greatly, the Barfing Apple. And then we've got three I don't particularly care for, the Heatran, the Fletchinder, and the Volcarona. So these are my favourite of Yuya Oka's work. So let's just adjust the camera. I'm just going to bring this in. There we go. Sorry, it's all very basic here. I don't have any setup. I don't have any lighting or special effects. So these are the cards I particularly like. Now, as I was saying about the Sigilyph, I don't like the Pokemon. I think it's a revolting design. But look at how good that card is. If you actually take the time to look at the work and the background, the concept, the movement in it, brilliant. This I've said how good this card. This card is just phenomenally good. The colours in it for a start, the drama. Yeah, I think that is just brilliant art. It's going to be number one. Spoiler alert. Again, this is just such a horrifically ugly Pokemon that no one likes, and yet Oka's done great work with that. I don't particularly like the Pokemon. It's a bit chaotic, this scene. It's very well painted. It's not going to make the list, but it is a good card. Love this. Again, slacking, not a Pokemon people particularly love. Amazing art. Really, really good. So that'll be in a high position. Pinsir, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I mean, very green. The light on it is excellent. Menacing. Wonderful art. Now, as I said with the Zapdos, I think this Pokemon Go logo is horrific and it just ruins the cards. This Zapdos always reminds me of the one from the vending series back in the 1990s. Which has a similar theme with I think it also has an electricity pylon in the background, but that's very good art. Wonderful. Again, a really ugly Pokemon. Sorry, anybody who likes Gygas. I think it's. But look at that. You've got to take the time to actually appreciate not only the background and stuff, but when you're given the commission of do Regigigas in this little tiny box, and how an artist approaches that and thinks, I've got to get a sense of power and size, lighting. Really, really good art. Yeah, I mean, again, revoltingly ugly Pokemon that's had a lot of cards over the years. But look at the line work of that on the roots on its legs, and the angle and the sense of power and action going on in that card in just this little box. The constraints of the box. It's always interesting how artists deal with these vertical, tall Pokemon that are, you have to come up with interesting ways of fitting a tall Pokemon into the box, but yet keeping it big enough to look powerful. You can't just do a little tiny Trevenant in the background. Magnificent artwork. That's going to be very high on the list. I think this one is actually the one that made me fall in love with Yuya Oka's artwork. Take it to another level. This is a very difficult Pokemon to create an appealing image of. It's a very ugly beast, and rather forgotten. But wow, it's quite simple. You've got that turn of the head, slightly downward. It's got that gruff look with its lower teeth. Yeah. That is a phenomenally beautiful bit of artwork. And that was, as I say, it's the card that when I saw this artwork, I thought, no, next level. This is an artist that's very, very talented. If they can take something as monstrous as Bastiodon and do something as appealing to the eye as that card, that is very good. And this was possibly one of the ones I was most aware of early on in Yuya Oka's work, because it's such a unique concept for a card. I don't know what the process is for commissioning art, or how much of whether the artist just gets it. You're doing Marshadow. Maybe they have some something, a sort of sense of style for the set. But to have done this with this punching the candles out, Who thinks that up? But it's very, very well done. This is one of these, Marshadow is a Pokemon that's going to be forgotten eventually. It never really made a splash. I mean, they do this because they give everything away as a free download. There's no story attached to them anymore. They just turn up, you claim the code, you get the Pokemon, you put it in a box, you forget it exists. It doesn't really get integrated in the story of the games very easily. So that's a very, very good piece of artwork. So what have I pulled out as my yeah, okay, so I think the Bouffalont's going to be the best card because of that color. It's the colors and the drama. And I think, yeah, I think the Trevenant is my second favorite. And yeah, a tie for third. We'll go these two. Tie for third. They are both very, very good. And I don't mind Bastiodon, but I'm not a big fan of this monster. It doesn't do anything every other turn. And it just looks silly. Yeah. So beautiful cards. And as I say, I think I've got every print now of up to so far. Hopefully they will be doing more cards of Yuya Oka's work in all Japanese prints and all English prints. So nice to complete a set. I'm a bit of a completist, so I don't like to have holes in my collections. Even though I collect Arita and I can't complete Arita because of trophy cards, etc. So there we are. That is my Yuya Oka video for this Wednesday morning.